another pop culture topic. I know I talk about politics in the title. It's called Meet Kevin Has Broken Politics. So, as pretty much everybody knows, Gavin Newsom is being recalled, or he's being put up for recall, so to speak, for this election. And I believe the voting is September 14th, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not here to talk about like who you should vote for or any of that. Like, I'm not going to, put political agendas here, but I found this guy really interesting. Meet Kevin is someone that is another creator that I'd followed for probably about the past year and a half. He was already relatively big when I first saw him. And he's running for governor of California. Meet Kevin is someone who I look up to in that he is really successful in his field. He's a former real estate agent, I believe, who turned basically into a financial educator and an investment YouTuber who basically started to break down complicated financial concepts, so to speak, so that everybody could kind of access his material on YouTube as a resource and his content on YouTube as a resource to further their financial independence and hopefully get closer to reaching their financial goals. And I thought Meet Kevin did a really good job when it came to stock advice and how to get started with real estate investing and how to get started with stock investing. And he was really, really good at that. And then he decided to run for governor probably about 7 months ago, earlier this year. And I feel like, and he's actually doing really well in the polls. Last I checked, he's leading in San Diego, I believe. And he's also on one of the major Democratic candidates that's running for this recall. And particularly being a Democratic candidate running in this recall when it's a lot of Republicans in a very blue state like California, you're going to do well. And so Meet Kevin, I feel like, has a real opportunity to win this election. He's got I don't know the specifics of his plan, but he does have a website where he really talks in depth about his kind of 20 to 25 stage plan that he intends on going through with homelessness. I believe he has a plan to institute future schools and all of these things. But that's besides the point. I'm not trying to get into specifics about Meet Kevin's campaign here. What I'm trying to do is educate you guys as to why you guys should why what Meet Kevin is doing is important. Meet Kevin is a YouTuber. Okay, I think he's 28 or 29 years old. His real name's Kevin Paffarath. Kevin is a YouTuber. He, has communicated his information through YouTube videos and TikToks and, like any social media person does, through every possible form that he could possibly find. He has, used that and leveraged his social media following to educate people about various things. And now he's kind of turned that into a political move. I feel like politics and social media is such an untapped market, right? Look at the last election. Fucking Joe Biden and Donald Trump are running for president, and social media was hardly used. Yes, of course, like the Facebook, like fake news shit. Like, of course, social media is super powerful in these elections, but I feel like it's so untapped. I feel like there's so much untapped potential that these candidates could use. These candidates could record videos, put it up on YouTube, vlog the campaign. There's so many things that these guys could use with content that they don't. Trump obviously leveraged social media with spreading all these articles to specific, his specific demographic to really, rock the vote. But I feel like there are ways that you could use social media to really leverage and relate to Gen Z, because let's be real, the upcoming generation and the biggest generation right now, baby boomers were aging out, right? Let's be real. They're, getting older. Gen X is getting older. Gen Z and millennials are the two generations that are upcoming. And what do those two generations have in common is that they both have heavy social media usage and basically consume most of their news from social media and from articles that they read on Facebook or on Twitter and YouTube videos. Presidential candidates, gubernatorial candidates in general can gain so much more clout, can gain so much more attention, widespread views if they leverage their social media to their advantage. I know they're busy. I know they have a lot of speeches to make and blah, blah, blah. That's true. But use your social media. And I feel like that's something that Kevin is doing. I feel like that's something that Meet Kevin is on. He's really hitting that spot well. And maybe he's ahead of the game. Maybe none of this shit even matters, right? Like maybe he'll just go out there and tank in the actual election and lose the recall. But the fact of the reality is simple. is that he is breaking the way that politics has been done by being one of the first like legit like candidates as a social media star to run for this election. And he's really gathering the attention, I feel like, of Gen Z and millennials and people who get their news from social media. And it's going to be interesting to see how he does here in California. He has a really good shot, and this is going to be an interesting one to follow. So let's see how this one goes with Meet Kevin.